welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is an air sign read for Gemini season, so happy birthday to my fellow Geminis. Enjoy your season. Happy birthday. If you're an air sign, enjoy it. For my Libra Aquarians, enjoy spring. I hope you love the weather, and dependent on where you are, of course. If you'd like to book with me, you can do so in the email listed in the description box. We're going to do one, that's cool, we got the rose pink, rhodochrosite, I think is how you say that. It's funny, it's soften your heart. I did, because I've been going through storage, I did pull my crystal stone deck out. If you don't already know, on my channel there are the timeless reads where I do the pick of cards. I know I haven't done them like basically since I had the baby, but if you do like this deck, the crystal deck, it is actually featured like quite a bit on my pick a card reads, and it's by, hold on, I actually have the box out. It's a really good deck if you're interested in it. That's the deck, and it's on my pick a card reads, but I am going to be pulling one each for my Dominion reads this month, just because I was looking at the deck and I was like, I really want to use it. So here we are. Okay, I know the lighting's a little bit off, everybody, but I think we can make it work. If I have one more extra deck out for, like, it's not oracle cards, but it is, or they are not oracle cards, they're just a secondary deck, and we'll see if we pull any from them. Otherwise, if you're unfamiliar, we'll be pulling from my typical Rider-Waite tarot deck, and you will have 3 rows. The first row, this is not like the pick a card reads where you just choose a group and that's your read, or you meditate beforehand and choose a group and that's your read. This is supposed to be based on your birth chart. These are my elemental reads, they're my monthly production reads. If you are interested in that type of a thing, it's based on your birth chart again. So it's if you have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, highly aspected, so that if you're new to like zodiac studies or astrology in general, that means that whatever your sun, rising, moon, and Venus sign, whatever those placements are, they're likely going to play a big role in your life, just based on how they play out in your personality in terms of coding for this dimension. So if you are interested in that kind of a thing, check out your birth chart, because French toast. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Wow. I'm so sorry. I got a weird card, and then I had to I didn't mean to get pulled in, but I did get pulled in. Okay. I already feel like I should restart this. Shit. Okay. So anyway, the elemental reads based on your birth chart, you should check out your birth chart, because if this read does not resonate for you, like let's say you're a sun sign, you're born in an air month, that's why you watch air reads. But let's say that your rising and your moon sign are both water, and your Venus is something else. It doesn't really matter how it plays out, because everybody's different. Lily, please stop. But it does matter to you in terms of watching tarot and studying astrology, in terms of like if you're into like my brain is stuttering, it's not stuttering, it's simulation theory and chaos theory cut together, of course, and then I'll also study astrology, so that what you get the bits of ultimately why certain things happen based on your placements. If you understand what I'm referencing by simulation theory, it would be the coding of your personality and therefore your experience, because similar experiences therefore liken similar personality traits. And I could go on and on for hours, but we're gonna drop it. Like, it's just not that big of a deal, because this is actually meant to be an air sign read and not a rant. So I don't want to take this card. I can't believe you're making me. You're like, it'll be good. I don't think it'll be good. Oh, okay, well, we got Justice in reverse. We got, I also forgot. 3 rows. I think I spun off a little bit on this. So 3 rows. The first row will be your recent past. The second row will be your current energy. The third row will be your future. Oh my, I already know what this card has to do with that. That's why I want me to keep it. It's annoying. Okay. Anyway, focused. I'm sorry, I'm a Gemini, so this is my birthday read. I didn't want any reversals. Especially that. I'm not supposed to say that. I don't like to talk about my personal life on my channel. Don't say that. God dang it. I'm seriously not bringing up my personal life, although I want to. No. Okay. So recent past, current energy, future. If I didn't say that already, I think I did. But ultimately, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Justice in reverse is an interesting read. If this is going to resonate for you, and you are potentially dating or dealing with another air sign, that might have some. Oh my God, I don't want to do this read. Y'all are on my nerves today. I think I'm gonna cut it, y'all. I'm so sorry. I hate this read. I don't want to do it. It looks like shit. Excuse me. I really don't like it. I don't want to do it. I don't like the future row that you're getting right now. It's my birthday read. I'm not doing this. Oh wait, no, that's what you want. That makes more sense, I guess. I'm annoyed by everything about this, even though I've finished reading it. I'm fucking annoyed. It's annoying. Fuck y'all. Fuck. Sorry, I am cursing an awful lot, but you know what? YouTube can. I'm very used to cutting my language for YouTube, so I might not. My last little round before I fully boycott the application or the form, whatever you call it, it might literally be me being like a lot of curse words and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. So these are the clarifying cards that you got. They're upside down. They're in reverse. You did get the Emperor. Or we got the Emperor. I'm really annoyed about this read. I don't want to do it. I just have to get over it, but I'm just like, oh my God, this is not all what I had in mind tonight. Okay, guys, so, and that, the Justice card in reverse is also upsetting me because of my personal life, and I need to get over it. Okay. Because the Emperor is always a good card, right? Okay, let's try to be positive, everybody. We're going to start with our crystal card. I'm like 10 minutes into the fucking video. I'm fucking actually doing the read. Shit. Okay, so this card, as you saw, is like a pink rose color. Okay, so I want you to enjoy the season with that kind of color in mind. With the idea of, I know that so many people want to argue with me about this shit. The pink represents the crown chakra. Okay? So it means you need to be connecting, in terms of color magic, you want to be connecting with your spirit, with your higher self, with that which you feel as your most evolved form. Now, this card, this stone is actually a go-to stone for anyone that's like feels bent or brokenhearted. If you're grieving, god damn, this is what, bless you, this is way too on point. I don't really want to hear about my news. Yeah, shush. Okay. So if you're grieving any type of a major loss, like especially if a relationship like expired or an idea of yourself and with another person or whatever, just like it just didn't work out for whatever reason, you need to soften your heart a little bit. You need to be chill, right? You need to be enjoying life. You need to be more of a place where ultimately you have put yourself, not victim mentality. You put yourself into an environment, or we have put ourselves into an environment where we probably should have left sooner, right? So ultimately, when your heart hurts and you can feel all the feels, this is such a funny thing for air signs, because we are just not very emotional, regardless of if you have water or earth placements for your cusp. We're just not emotional typically. The more air in your chart, the less emotional you're going to be. What, baby? So when you can feel all your feels at the same time, I'm sorry, I got off track. Even the most painful feelings. It's this stone. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. This is a representation of like to just be gentle with yourself. I actually have this tattooed on my foot. That's why I said that. Like it's just a reminder. Like every storm passes. Okay? Everything that you're dealing with, you can heal through, you can rebuild, you can sew yourself back up, and you can re-enter whatever environment you want. Always. That's your higher self talking to you. It's a reminder that whatever you're going through, you need to be soft with you, because it will benefit you in terms of your healing evolution, because that's ultimately what you need to be doing. I'm going to flip it so you can see it if you have decent eyes. I feel like you can see it if you have good vision. And I'm going to try to cut the frame a little bit for the after video, so we'll see. Okay, anyways, thank you, air signs, for that. That is an excellent like crystal card for our read. I'm really glad that I listened to that intuitive thought and I pulled them out. So back with the typical, the Rider-Waite deck that we do use on my elemental reads for the most part. You do have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, and Aries can be of significance. Aries season could have been of major significance in whatever you're going through. If you're going through like a fresh breakup, not like one that you've been dealing with for a while, but like fresh. Ultimately, you just need to be gentle with yourself, because like for whatever, I know I haven't gotten into any of the rest of the cards. I'm like being preachy right now. Basically, you need to recognize that whatever kind of like relationship you took on, like there are reasons, right? There are reasons for you to be taking that on, whether it be ones that you need to learn certain things, or if I know I'm being very general. I'm just trying to be All right, the Emperor is the king of all kings, right? He represents what in spirituality we consider the male brain, which is action orientation, which is being minded about not necessarily nurture, but how you can act. In the third dimension, to create, to overcome challenges, not to create, because the man doesn't create, right? He needs a woman to create. The man rules. The emperor rules. He rules through structure. He creates structure. He creates security, stability through that structure that he creates. He is ambitious. He creates authority, not in a way of domination, but instead of true love and security. He represents true rationality, so that means that all of his movements have integrity. Like everything that he does is backed with integrity, right? You are showing up like this, someone else is showing up like this. I feel like you are showing up like this, like in your own life. I feel like this is that moment for like all air signs where like regardless of gender, we're like, okay, and regardless of what I was just talking about, like whatever you're going through, that you have to be soft with yourself about. You're gonna be overcoming challenges in a really big way for Gemini season. And sorry, tea break. In the recent past, a Cancer or a Libra could be of significance. Moving forward. The Chariot is a card that does represent... Oh, shoot. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep the alarm on that machine. My bad if you heard it. The Chariot is going to represent discipline, self-control, and success. The Wheel of Fortune is fate, karma, destiny, fortune, cycles, dependent on which side of the scale you on, that playing out. And then this is the interesting card that I was annoyed about. The Justice card in reverse is dishonesty, uncountability, and unfairness. So, ultimately being soft with yourself as you're dealing with whatever that was. Overcoming challenges where people, I'm just going to be like very direct. People have been potentially dishonest. They refused accountability. They were not fair. And it didn't matter how disciplined you were in terms of trying to create a successful cycle with that connection. It didn't matter how much you presented action, because like they were dishonest. They were not going to ever do their part. So regardless of like if this is a new relationship or was, they weren't going to actually ever, or however, whatever type of thing this is, right? Because this doesn't have to be a relationship, but I got that vibe. They were not necessarily, or you weren't, because again, it depends on who you are. Someone wasn't being honest about what they were intending on building, and it created a level of grief. And since you are the air sign, if you are experiencing grief and you don't feel you were dishonest, you don't feel you created this. I'm being very quick, very choosy with my words right now. It just depends. But you do need to be soft with your heart, even if you were the one that was dishonest. You can see it however you want, but ultimately that's the recent past. If you're more of a selfish person, you're gonna, or a selfless person. But I also don't want you to take that as like a way to invent things. Like you should still take it like resonate as how reality plays out. in the current experience. Yep. Anywho, so because of some dishonesty or some form of unaccountability or something like that, there's some sort of ending in the recent past that was you or whoever you're dealing with, like action-oriented brain saying this isn't gonna work. Like if you were the one that called it quits, you were like, okay, well, I am seeing some red flags that mean that in the future you're not going to show up for me, and I'm just not into it. And if someone left you, then it's vice versa. Like they saw some red flags where they were like, I don't know about that. Take it however the nights, and also don't take it personal, because ultimately, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, and that's not a bad thing. It's better to not try to force things that will later be chaotic, and then you have attachments in that relationship. You know what I mean? It's always better to not create attachments with someone if it's not going to play out in the long run. I'm just saying. That's just my personal opinion of where I'm at with life right now. So if you are overcoming challenges and you're trying to like really dive into a place of like action orientation, I know I keep saying that, but it's like you are very focused on, regardless of gender, with this Emperor card being the overall energy or the overall theme for your story or your experience of the Geminian month, season, etc. It's going to be that energy experience, whatever, whether you see this as realistic or not. It's you overcoming challenges the entire time and being very focused on how you have the power to overcome challenges, what you can do, what is it that you are able to do with that card. And so in the recent past, that's why I say that like you're going to be walking away from anything that you view as like an opposite, like opposing energy, because the Empress, I know she's not present in our read, but the Empress and the Emperor both always show up with integrity. So anybody that shows up in your life, especially as a partnership that doesn't have integrity, it just becomes a thing where you're like, okay, nope, like I wish you the best, like I truly do, and I hope you heal, but like I am not pursuing this, because if you don't have integrity behind you, like your words and your actions, then like what are we doing? I'm too invested in my own life to be playing games like that. So in your current energy, the World, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Cups. So we've got a lot of major arcana energy. And then we switch over to water. And that's going to be, for when I say current energy, that's going to be, so if this is not a timeless read and you're watching this for Gemini season of 2026, then this is the majority of that season. This is going to be the end of Taurus season going into Gemini season. It's going to be Gemini season, and this is going to be the end of Gemini season going into Cancer season, whereas these are your clarifying cards. So we're in energy for the entire season, if that makes sense. That's my layout. Thank you for listening. So, the Emperor continuing to play out, right? With the World there, you're focused on what is going to bring me like spiritual fulfillment in a major way. What is going to help me soften my heart, right? Again, what is going to bring me healing? What is going to bring me harmony? What is going to bring me completion? The Four of Cups is an interesting card to have there with the Six of Cups, because it's almost like, okay, so by definition, the Four of Cups is apathy, it's disconnection, sometimes it's contemplation. And the Six of Cups is memories, and they're both emotional cards because they're both water cards. So the Six of Cups is familiarity due to memories in general, healing, and sometimes restoration. So like you are potentially showing up as apathetic to any form of healing with something or someone or some sort of like I know collaboration's not necessarily out on my table, but I'm gonna use that word. So like some form of like social collaboration, likely. Sorry. Yeah. So with your current energy, like straightforward read, following this theme of like I am overcoming challenges. I don't care. Like I am the main character of my life. So this is where we're going with it. And whatever I choose, it has to bring harmony. And I'm going to be apathetic to anything that doesn't. Even if I have memories with it, even if I have love with it, even if I love that person, thing, group, contact, whatever it is, that person. You could be deeply, madly in love with a person. You could look at a man and think, I want to be yours for the rest of my life and in every life that I ever experience in terms of regeneration. I never want to be with anyone but you. You're everything for me. But if that person shows up as dishonest, you're going to rethink it, right? You're going to start thinking, because you're in this energy again of action, like overcoming challenges through action, regardless of if you're a girl or a guy. So like if something or someone has presented themselves as disconnected to you, even though you have memories with them, if they have shown themselves as, I am not really going to create harmony in your life, I might break your boundaries every once in a while just to prove that I have control over you, that's domination. Like, we aren't doing that in the 2026. Like, I'm not doing that with you, baby. It doesn't matter how much I love you. Like, I have mastered the art of detachment. So it doesn't matter that I want forever with you. If you don't have the integrity to show up for me for that, then I already know that it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what I want. It matters what my higher self is telling me will work out in the future. And if you're presenting yourself as dishonest, as not having integrity, as someone I cannot count on, that I can't call in an emergency, that I cannot, like, I'm not going to build with you. There's just no reason for me at all to pretend like it would be a good reason to give you my energy when I'm not going to get anything out of that. I have already been enough in equal situations. You know what I mean? Everyone, if this is going to resonate for you, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm preaching, but you've already, like, the world doesn't need any more toxic couples. The world needs people that love each other, that create harmony, that are connected. They are not apathetic to each other's needs. They are connected. That's what the world needs. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm just saying, like, everyone deserves that, because, like, ultimately that's the only way we're gonna come together as a society. And I'm not. I just, yeah, we're gonna drop it. Spin off and talk about this for a little too long, but we're going to focus on the read. Yeah, ultimately, if this is resonating for you, you already know that whoever you might have like taken on a recent relationship with is just like, it doesn't matter that they might be like your like, in your brain you can very easily romanticize a relationship with them, right? But because you've done that before with other people that it did not work out with, you're not necessarily doing that, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You don't want something that's easy to. I get what I'm using that. I don't really want to use that word. You don't want something that's easy to it. We're not building like temporary connections based off memory or feelings and romanticism in 2026. I almost said 2016. That's hilarious. That's too fucking funny. If you get it, you get it. Anyway, or 20, what was it? Wasn't it last year for Ethiopia? Or was it the year before? Based on the math. I don't remember either. A different spinoff, doesn't matter for this channel. So sorry. We're going to focus. You might just be very focused in the current energy on what brings harmony, right? If it's your birthday, not only are you focused on like, I want to overcome challenges, but you're also like, I want to enjoy life. I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy it, and I'm going to be apathetic to anything. It doesn't matter what kind of like gift the universe is giving. If it doesn't bring like a form of healing also with that Six of Cups, then it's not something I'm going to take. I'm going to remain apathetic to it, because if it doesn't add to my healing journey, again, it's just not helping me overcome those challenges. It's not helping me get over any type of grief. And like, if you've experienced anything in the past, you do want like stable partners to overcome those things with. That's just life. You don't want somebody that's consistently telling you go talk to someone else about your problems. That's not someone that loves you. It's not someone that you should keep building with. It's a huge red flag. I don't care if you're married and have children. If they're consistently telling you that they don't have time to listen to you talk about a problem and that you need to go get help, or you need to this, you should, consider it. But if you have a selfish partner, then recognize that they are not, they just don't want to actually be empathetic to you. It's not that you need to go talk to someone else about it. It's that they don't actually care. And therefore you might be at a place where you're like, oh, again, back to that, if you entered a new relationship, you might have like been kind of testing that person to see how connected they are to you, if they're apathetic to certain things that you say, if they care at all when you bring up this, that, or the other, and if they're playing games. And if they presented in the recent past, like the end of Taurus season going into Gemini season for a lot of us, for some of us I should say, it's going to be like that experience where you recognize where someone's just not going to show up for you. And because this is an air season, it makes logical sense to let go of anything that doesn't create healing, that doesn't soften you as an air sign. If it doesn't soften you, then it's probably better to leave it be. Yep. So I'm really not looking forward to this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. It's a lost opportunity. It's a bad investment. It's a missed chance in the future. An ace in reverse is never good, is what it is. The Knight of Swords is an impulsive knight, of course. He's a very logical knight, but he's also an impulsive one. He is action-oriented. He represents logical action, and he also represents when people defend their own beliefs. The Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Fire, is the last card. She does represent courage, determination, passion, and joy. Three could be of significance for a multitude of reasons. You might lose an opportunity due to impulsive decisions, or someone views, like, they view the loss of the relationship with you as their own fault due to impulsive decisions. I know that is probably the shortest line I have to give in, right? The future read is very direct. It's either you or the person that you walked away from feeling regret because they feel like it was impulsive. And it's like, if you've been listening, if you were the one that was like throwing out tests and the person was failing them or whatever, and you detached, you're not going to be the one that's viewing it as a lost opportunity. You're going to be viewing it as not meant to be in this life type of a thing. Because again, you're overcoming challenges and you're being gentle with yourself and softening your heart. And with that Queen of Wands, you're sort of just like, what causes joy? What allows me to be determined in my endeavors, right? What takes away from my I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, if it causes like a level of like, if it takes away from you, like at all. So if it's someone that just doesn't show up for you, and that's just not a good idea. If it's someone that consistently says they're going to, and like you tell them boundaries, and they don't listen to the boundaries, even when you have a clear conversation with them, like you're not out here to raise, teach, learn. Nobody. You're not their parent unless you are their parent, and that's not going to be about your kid. This is not a read about your child. This is a read about like a partner or a friend, at least, but like definitely not. Lou, be good. Hey, quit. Yeah. Sorry, my cat's playing with the tablecloth, and there's a candle, so obviously I have to correct her. Yeah. You're gonna be. Excuse me. You're gonna be almost impulsively defending your joy. like at the end, and like for it depends on when your birthday is, actually, if you're a Gemini. Like mine is at the end of the season. Like I'm a cusper, so like I can definitely see how this plays out in terms of time. You can love somebody all you want, but that doesn't mean that they're going to show up for you. And if you've been like, this is what I am, this is what I have to offer, like I don't really want to do anything for you. I need this, this, and this. I want this and this. And they're like, oh, I want this. And then they just don't show up or whatever. It's not adding to your life, it's taking away. Like, and like, who wants to be in a consistent like place where they're like, they feel like they're on a shelf? Like, especially if this is like a karmic thing, like you, like, okay, if you I'm saying this, if you just got out of a seriously long-term relationship where you felt like that, like your partner didn't necessarily love you, and like you were just trying to make it work, and then like now you're maybe in a more short-term thing, or you might have noticed some similar traits, but that the new partner has, that you potentially overlooked in your long-term partner at the beginning, and so you now see them as huge red flags. And so whatever this person like, whatever actions this person displayed to you appeared to be, or will appear, if this is something that's going to happen during the season, as them being impulsive, and therefore not like someone that you can expect to kind of like rely on, like whatever it is. I feel like it's a person. I feel like it's a relationship. I'm just being real with you. Okay, so we do have the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Wands in reverse for our clarifying cards. Clarifying cards do clarify the entire read. So the 9 of Swords is hope. It's reaping. Oof. Reaching. Oof. I can't believe I said reaping. That's not good. That means something to somebody. Hope, reaching out for help, and despair with the 9 of Swords in reverse. Ooh. The 5 of Wands in reverse is avoiding conflict and respecting differences. Yeah, like you definitely view something or someone views you as just it's not gonna work. Like whatever it is, whatever value it had. Again, I really feel like this is a relationship. It doesn't matter because of everything we've discussed, and you being focused on creating joy and love in life in a manner that like you get to see the rewards. You're overcoming the challenges and you see the rewards, and it creates joy. It doesn't matter in this season, air signs. If something doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, if you were the one, I'm not trying to be mean to you, babe, okay? Girl, if you're the one that shows up, that doesn't show up, like, if you're the one that did make the commitments and didn't show up like you said you would, that's okay. But it just means that, like, honey, you don't actually, like, really like that person as much as you might think you do. And it's not fair to keep them on the shelf. Like, if you think about it, okay? It's just not fair to do that to someone. And when you can go be happy doing whatever you want, like, you shouldn't need someone on the shelf for you to be happy. I'm just saying, whoever I'm speaking to. Okay, I'm done. Love you so much. Thank you for listening to my read. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the longest read ever. All right, air signs. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you always enjoy my content. If you want to book with me, you can do so in the description box below. Again, it's not, I don't mean that as a shameful thing. However you play, however you show up in the season, you know, ultimately you just need to recognize that, like, sometimes things are not meant to be, even though you wanted it. It's just not meant to be, and that's okay. Because what's meant to be should present itself, and if you keep doors open that are not meant to be, then it doesn't keep the room open for what is meant to be, if that makes sense. And I hope it does. So you do have to close the doors to the things that don't work so that you can get the new stuff, right? Okay, I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next read.